What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. All right, check this out. This is not a cat video. This is a real video. I'm not trying to make fun of anything. This is real talk. So I went ahead and I got a PS4 Pro instead of getting a PS5, just like the title says, right? Like you guys know, I think we had the PS5 now for maybe a week now. We've had a PS5. I got a PS5 for my son. Shout out to you, Isomotion Gaming. Man, my dude came through. He was able to get the PS5 and he sent it to me. I was able to give it to my son. Good kid, gets good grades, behaves. So surprising with a PS5, he was ecstatic. He's definitely a PlayStation fan, and as well he should be because we were all PlayStation fans last generation, right? So, anyways, I'm talking about my household, right? So, anyways, got the PS5. The first game that we got was Ratchet and Clank because I listened to what everybody was telling me, saying that the game is amazing, that the game is awesome, it's truly next gen, XYZ, right? Got the game, we dropped, $70 for it, which I'm not a fan of. You guys already know this. You can call me cheap all you want. It is what it is. It's my money. I do not like spending 70. I don't even like spending $60 for a game, so let alone 70. My cap was always $20. I wouldn't even pay $20 for a game. That was usually my cap. So I've been playing old games. Like that's just my thing. I wait for games to drop in price. But to have that next gen experience, and we just dropped, it was almost like $600 to get this PS5 because if the PS5 plus tax plus shipping, it came from California, so it was like $600 something to get this PS5. Wanted to experience the next gen whatever. So we went ahead and got Ratchet and Clank, $70, got the digital version, played it, and it is a good game. Listen to what I'm saying. It is a good game. I would definitely recommend that you get this game. However, I do not think that the game is worth $70. That's it. That's my only gripe. I don't see why the game is worth $70, right? With that being said though, when we got the PS5, and like I said, we got it for about a week now, it still doesn't get more play than my Xbox Series X. Now I'm not lying, I'm not capping, I'm not anything, but I want you to understand this. When we turn on the PS5, I promise you, when we turn on the PS5, we almost feel obligated to play Ratchet and Clank because it's the next gen game. Now I have PS Now and I got PS Now on the PlayStation 5 as well, but it's just something weird about playing an old game on that system when we have a $70 game that we haven't beaten yet. Right now, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys psychologically, but without me even telling my sons, like both of them, they understand this. Like when Julian turns on the PS5, he's playing Ratchet and Clank. When Alex turns on the PS5, he's playing Ratchet and Clank. If I turn on the PS5, I'm playing Ratchet and Clank. We're not playing anything else. I lied. The other game that my son plays, Alex, he'll play Apex because he'll play with his friends or whatever. So Apex Legends he plays on it, right? Which is still kind of like, okay, we got a $600 console to play, Apex Legends. So I understand what all you Sony fans have been saying. Like, well, why would you buy an Xbox Series X if you're gonna be playing old games on it? Why don't you just get an Xbox One X? Why don't you just get an Xbox One, whatever? And I'll be honest with you, now that I got both consoles, it makes sense. What you've been saying does make sense because he's going to be taking that PS5 with him once he leaves, right? And the idea was that he was going to take the PS5 and he was going to send me back my PS4 that they have over there in Illinois. Well, apparently they want to keep the PS4 as well because they're real comfortable using the PS4 as like a Roku or whatever. I don't know. I didn't want to argue. Sure, okay, keep the PS4. It doesn't matter. I could go ahead and just purchase another one. That was my mentality. Or I know that eventually I am gonna get a PS5, so I was like, so maybe I'll go ahead and purchase a PS5 now. I just happened to go on OfferUp and on Mercari, and I was just looking to see how much PS4s went for, and I was able to get a PS4 Pro for $200, which is just like a steal, right? I didn't know much about the PS4 Pro because I never really understood like mid-grade what's it called, upgrades or whatever to consoles. So yeah, I had the second generation PS4, but that's because I bought the PS4 late. And yes, I had an Xbox One S because I bought the Xbox late as well, right? But as far as the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, I didn't understand it. But $200 for a PS4 Pro, I went ahead and purchased it, and then I found out what the PS4 Pro is capable of. So I have my Xbox Series X with Game Pass, right? And I am a huge fan of gaming services. I really am. I can't lie to you. Because again, remember my cap was $20. I want to spend $20 for a game, right? Well, for $15 a month, I got Game Pass Ultimate, which gives me a crazy amount of games. But the difference between Game Pass, a huge difference between Game Pass and PS Now, is the day and dates. So, like Microsoft just had their E3, right? 90% of those games I know that I'm getting just because I'm subscribed to Game Pass. That's huge. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, Xbox fans, listen to me. If Sony decided to do day and dates on PS Now, it would destroy Game Pass. It just would. It would destroy Game Pass right now because that means that their first party games would come to PS Now as well. But Sony's not doing that. Plus, the PS Now service literally has like over 800 games. And if you don't want to count the streaming games, if you only want to count the downloadable games, it's still something like 400 games. I promise you, PS Now arguably has more downloadable games on the PS4 hardware or PS5 hardware than Game Pass does. That's insane. The problem is, and I can make a whole nother video about it, is I think the own Sony fans shot themselves in the foot by talking bad about Game Pass because now Sony's looking at it like, nah, we shouldn't do day and dates for PS Now. But if they did, it would be an amazing service. That is something that's completely different. Day and dates do matter. Again, 90% of E3 I'm already gonna get on my Xbox Series X because I subscribe to Game Pass. But remember, I'm the type of player that plays old games, right? So I'm used to playing old games. Another thing that the Xbox Series X does is that it boosts those old games, right? So for me, a person that plays old games, if I could play those games in a better frame rate and better fidelity, why would I not? To my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, PlayStation 5 is not really doing that. It's only doing that with a few select games, right? Only with a few select games, right? I think Microsoft now has like 120 something games that are boosted. I don't know how many Sony has, but I know it's not that many. A lot of their games are still playing at the same resolution as it was, in frame rate as it was before. So for me, it made sense because I already had the Xbox Series X to go ahead and purchase a PS4 Pro and use it the same way that I would use a PS5, which is with PS Now. Because for me, dropping $70 games is just not it's just not worth it. I just don't see it. Okay, now I know a lot of you are gonna disagree. You're gonna say that gaming is expensive, and Doc, if you can't afford gaming, you should go ahead and get another hobby. Okay, cool, man. Whatever you believe. If that makes you feel better about dropping $70 games for a game that still is gonna be able to be played on the PS4, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's another thing I want to say this, okay? I believe that Sony lied when they said we believe in generations. I know a lot of you are going to say, well, you took it too hard, all this other stuff. Doesn't matter. To me, that was a pimp move. They said we believe in generations. I took it as, okay, games that are coming for the PS5 are going to be PS5 exclusives, right? That's what I took it as. It turns out that what they meant was some games will be PS5 exclusives, whatever we choose it to be, and then some games will be able to be played on the PS4 as well. Right now, that even makes more sense for me to get a PS4 Pro because I know that I'm going to be able to play Horizon Forbidden West and I'm going to be able to play God of War, the new God of War. It's coming to the PS4 and I'm going to have a PS4 Pro, so I'll be able to play it at 4K. Might not be able to play at 4K 60, but I'll still be able to play it at 4K, 4K 30. And like I mentioned before in this channel, I'm huge on frame rates. So that's never going to change for me. But you know what? For that price, I could play it at 30. It'll be all right because I'm playing on a PS4 Pro. What I don't like to see is the PS5 or the Xbox Series X running games at 30 frames. Because to me, they're supposed to be, more powerful consoles, all this stuff. The PS4 Pro, the Xbox One X running a game at 30 frames, that makes sense. That's why I don't even like that the Series S has games that runs at 30 frames, right? Because it's supposed to be a next generation, right? So here's the deal, man. Like I said, no disrespect to the PS5. It's just that the PS5 for me right now didn't make sense when I already purchased a PS5 for my son. So that would have been almost like $1,200 or something like $1,200 that I would have given Sony to play what? Ratchet and Clank? Returnal? What? Yeah. Like I don't know. I don't get it. But here's the deal, and I can be honest with you. The reverse situation probably works better. Listen, by now all the Sony ponies have already typed all their anger comments and everything, so they're not even listening right now. They're already mad at me, calling me an Xbot and everything, calling me a clown and all this other stuff. But I want to talk to the people that are still here listening to me, listening to this logic. The reverse situation probably works better. Meaning, if you this generation purchase a PS5, right? Then you don't need to get an Xbox Series X. You probably shouldn't buy an Xbox Series X. You should probably get yourself an Xbox One S or an Xbox One X, right? Because Microsoft is literally letting you know that all these games are coming to Game Pass. They're coming to Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, or they're coming to the previous generation console anyway, so you are literally not going to be missing out on much of anything. With Sony, on the other hand, is hit or miss. We don't know which games are going to be cross-gen and which games are not. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a PS5, don't worry about getting yourself an Xbox Series X right now. Go ahead and get yourself a One X. Go ahead and get yourself Game Pass. I'm telling you, the value is tremendous. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it. And it's not even if you're not. Here's the thing, right? If you're not gonna complain about $70 games, how could you complain about Game Pass? That to me doesn't make sense. If you're not gonna complain about $70 games, especially games that once you play them once, that's it, you're done. You could go back and plan on whatever you want, man. It's still the same game, dog. It's still the same game. But with Game Pass, 50, that's if you get the computer version of Game Pass. That's if you get Game Pass Ultimate. But if you just get Game Pass for the console, I think it's only like $10. I mean, you can't really lose with that. So get yourself a PS5 and an Xbox One X, right? So you can still play games at 4K if you already got that 4K TV, or that One S if you just want to try out games, whatever, right? And you be straight. You will be straight, right? So again, all Sony points again, probably mad, not even listening to me. What I'm saying is the reverse probably works better because of what Microsoft is upfront telling you. So with that being said, I am happy that Sony lied, bent the truth, or I'll say that I misunderstood what they said. I'm actually happy because now I can sit with my PS4 Pro and believe that that PS4 Pro now is going to have a lot more life for a good amount of time. If you think that God of War or Horizon Forbidden West are the last cross-gen games that Sony's making, you are sadly mistaken. This is going to be a trend. And somebody said, I think, shout out to you, Cloud Data Media. I think it was you that said it that it's hard to get a PS5, so they gotta, they gotta put these games on more what's it called, where more player base is at. That makes a lot of sense. So to me, it just made sense to get a PS4 Pro. So again, I'm not trying to disrespect the PS5. You guys know, if you can't tell when I'm making a video where I'm trolling, then you got a problem, right? Some videos I troll, some videos I'm in here and I'm really talking to you guys. But regardless, I'm curious to see what you guys think. How many of you guys actually have both the Xbox Series X and the PS5 and wish you would have traded one for the other? Meaning like you would have gotten a PS4 Pro or kept your PS4 and your Xbox Series X, or kept your PS5 and kept your Xbox One or whatever. I'm just curious. All right. Oh my bad, I'm moving the camera. I'm just curious. Just let me know. But again, to me, gaming services, the way I use these systems, PS Now is amazing. I like PS Now. I like Game Pass better because of the features that it has in the day and date. You're not gonna take that away. But I'm chilling right now. Right now, I'm literally so happy that I made that purchase for that PS4 Pro because number one, I can't be forced into buying a $70 game because I'm not going to now. Where if I had the PS5, I would kind of feel forced to pay for it. And I can actually wait until the PS5 Slim comes out, until they remake another PS5 or whatever the case may be, and then these games will drop in price again. Or maybe eventually those games will come to PS Now, which then I'll definitely be winning. Dog 1985, there's levels to this. We out. Peace.